Okay, so let's finish this. Hopefully finish this. A sharp pain tightened my whole body, especially sharply as it felt in the temples. It seemed like they were ready. It seemed like they were really. Oh, damn. It seemed like they were ready to shatter into 1,000 little pieces, giving free access to the wind in my empty head. Probably I would not stand even 5 minutes of such torture if in time I didn't open my eyes. I was somewhere. It was impossible to tell more precisely. Mine was colored in mist. Thoughts were confused. The moment between the unconscious and conscious states when you vividly remember your dreams. She's trying to copy Max Payne. Max Payne said it better and cooler. What? Who the fuck are you? I was going somewhere by. Is that music? Oh shit. It's the theme song. I like this theme song. It's cool. That just looks cool too. I was going somewhere by bus. I was about to doze off when suddenly a girl came up to me and began to speak first. I couldn't understand a word, but the girl looked very upset. I failed to understand what she needed from me. Time passed, and she was talking on and on. It was getting really annoying. I wanted to ask her to cut it out, or at least calm down a bit, but I failed. It's because I didn't manage to say anything or because my words didn't reach her. I couldn't even see her face. I was simply listening, staring and listening. Because it wasn't important for me then. Sure, when I try to remember how sleep disturbed mosquito looks like. Sure, you won't manage to recall the frequency of his flapping or his trunk indicated angle after that. What? Sure, you won't manage to recall the frequency of his flapping or his trunk inclination angle after that. Fuck! And this girl is just one of the millions of voices that disturb you from concentrating, from thinking, from falling asleep. The louder her voice was growing, the harder it was getting for me to seize the words. The bus cabin, the seats tormented by time, the humpy floor, the rusty ceiling, the cracked glass, and the windscreen, everything was floating away, along with her. Then I felt a unique sense of relief. It didn't matter how real the bus and girl had been, it was nothing but a bug to me. Here I am, hanging in a total emptiness and falling inside a dream. Oh, we're back at his apartment. Sort of. Wow, James could be a real something. Not quite a nightmare, yet definitely not something pleasant. I gotta rub my face to get back to reality, give a loud yawn and prepare to shake myself up. It was a really great morning. I went to find a hygiene kit, and my nightstand I concluded that I managed without it. It was hard to get dressed, my hands were trembling as hell. I looked at the reflection in the mirror and checked out my 2-week scrub. Well, perhaps Olga has a razor. It was only when I came outside It was only when I came outside when I suddenly understood that I'm not in the pioneer camp. But I'm back. I'm back to my apartment, and I just came out. And I've just come out of my. Okay, let me just realize this. And I've just came out of the room into a passageway, not out of the cabin. I was overwhelmed with surprise, with dismay, with fear, even with terror. But how? I sat down in the bed and buried my face into my hands, trying to remember the chain of yesterday's events. Yeah, bus, last day of the session. Yeah, I've fallen asleep. I got up back home. Well, to some degree, not even seemed quite logical. Seeing that the primary astonishment has weared off during the first seconds. After all, the fact that I came back like this after a weekly absence is not strange. Then my son and parents at some pioneer camp of 80s. The events of the last 2 days flashed before my eyes in an instant. That mysterious pioneer, his words, how I managed to get back to reality then. According to him, I was going to be stuck there forever, There's no exit. On the other hand, I wasn't alone. Finally at the bus stop, and the voice emphasized the contrary, that the exit exists. It means I found it. I managed to get out of this endless loop. But how? This is because you got on the bus. Nevertheless, I wasn't sure whether I should rejoice or grieve. During the last week, I kind of got used to the everlasting inner monologue, search for answers, and in-depth analysis of everything, so I just couldn't accept this fact as it was without figuring out what exactly happened to me. Sure, he told me that I'm the only one. Plus, observed the existence of other guys like me during the very first loop. But does it mean anything? Anyway, all his theories and ideas instantly collapsed like a house of cards. Now I had to decide how I should react. Of course, I should rejoice. After all, I'm back to the real world. Maybe the last 7 days were just a dream. Indeed, there's absolutely no evidence that I was really here. I was really there. Damn. I didn't see my partner uniform anywhere. I look my age, just like I did before. My phone is on the table, fully charged. But one can't deceive on one's own memory. One can't live through such terrifically real experiences in a dream. I still remember the events of the whole week in great detail. Perhaps I was in a coma all this time. An ironic laugh escaped my lips. Nah, it's not an option too. Then, all is well that ends well. Oh shit. Oh, you fucked up that line. Indeed, I wasn't hoping to get out either from that camp or from that reality. Then I was pretty much ready to another week. And another, and another, and another. I've accepted my role. I've reconciled with my destiny. And what was I supposed to do after all that stuff that happened? For the doom sigh, get up from bed with considerable effort and get into my computer. That's weird, but according to it, only 14 hours passed since my disappearance from this world, not the whole week. It's just like Digimon! So you only been gone for like a few hours. A new message in the instant messenger. Hi, Simeon. Yesterday was legendary. See you later. My college friend. It was him who invited me to the party with the rest of the college friends that I was going to attend. Suddenly, all my senses came back to me. The headache, the dizziness, all the symptoms of a hangover. Looked like I indeed was attending the party yesterday, and I partied hard. So there was no party in the camp, but then, where all these memories, emotions, and feelings are coming from? All this was so incomprehensible that I became enraged. I began cursing dirtily, trying to tear my hair off and hammering the keyboard with my fist, all in when there were no keys left on it, or in some kind of normal state. Why should I care so much? Nobody worries when a dream or hallucination ends. Moreover, people are usually glad that it happened. Was I really that prepared to staying there that my return to reality became so undesirable for me? Then a somewhat obvious thought crossed my mind. Perhaps I'm just going insane. Indeed, the madmen frequently have visions which they perceive as reality. Besides, all the conditions of someone going nuts. Never leaving my full world captivity, lack of socialization, lack of psychological problems. Well, explains a lot. My dark nervous laughter echoed in the room. Guess it's the right time for me to visit a therapist, or rather a psychiatrist. Or should I just surrender myself to an asylum? Simeon, a horse, a horse. Half my kingdom for a horse. I cried at the top of my lungs right through my manic laughter. Simeon, dispute not with her, she is a lunatic. My neighbor's racket on the wall calmed me down somehow. If I'm tripping that bad, it looks like only a lobotomy will help me. I just sat completely freaked out for several hours, doing nothing, thinking nothing, just staring at the monitor long since turned off. Finally, I moved the mouse and opened a few tabs in the browser. So what's new? F5, F5. As if the events of the past week never happened. Come on, do you have to agree for a hallucination? Was it real? Sure. Lots of memories? Sure. Lot looks true enough. By all means, yes. Any proof? Nope. The verdict is clear. My further course is clear too. I have long suspected that my lifestyle won't do me any good. I wasn't ready to get something that unusual, but so what? I have to be more cautious in such trips now. Night, an endless stream of threads and images took my mind from my laments and considerations. An instant message from one of them came the most unexpectedly. Message: Hi, how are you doing? Sure, quiet and original start of a conversation. Doing fine? Contact's profile was completely empty, not even a nickname, just a bare 9-digit number. You can't guess what person awaits you on the other end by just looking at the number, can you? Sure. Someday it would be all different. Unified digital identifiers, a set of names, a couple of symbols for a biography, several bytes of personality, and 3.5 bits of feelings. Got home safely? Probably someone from yesterday's party. Seems like. You didn't remember everything I told you yesterday, right? Well, I guess not. But she had another message after a long pause. I see. Honestly, I didn't give a damn who was that and why is he messaging me until this unidentified individual is going to harass me. Could easily tolerate his presence in my contact list. Well, that's okay. We'll meet again. Sure we will. Sure. Looking forward to it. Yeah? See me out. Alright. Bye. I haven't replied. This last screwed up day. That's what's slowly coming to an end. Going to the bed, I yet again recalled in my head all events that seemed so real for me. Or am I going to wake up tomorrow? Will this hallucination return? Nah. Probably I'll just forget everything. Strange. But now I'm feeling that all that's going on is real. There, it's just a fiction. A game of deformed imagination or really something fantastic. And here is reality, sometimes inconvenient, sometimes it becomes different from your wishes, giving you surprises like this, but it's still reality. I fell asleep with these thoughts. Bit by bit, my life resumed its normal course, and I started to forget the events of that week. After all, nothing bad happened. Even if it indeed was real, who cares? Those are only 7 days in a pioneer camp. I wasn't killed. Actually, you were. Nobody's stolen me to conduct experiments. I wasn't brainwashed, so why do I care? Not about a key reason. And if it indeed was a hallucination, I can only hope that it won't repeat itself. I was still at home living. My computer and the internet were only my friends, or my only friends, and the keyboard was the only communication channel leading to the outer world. FI key again became the main thing in my life. Come to think of it, it really wasn't all that bad. Yet one day, a familiar combination of digits popped up on the screen. A strange contact of mine went online once again. Hey, how are you doing? Doing fine. Probably I must have known him, but who cares anyway? Any news? Not really. Stability is a trait of a true character. One might say so. Oh, I see. This conversation was over for me, but he didn't seem to feel like that. So nothing's changed? Nope. It should have. Well, it's not like you experience stuff like that on a day-to-day basis. Not everybody's get to experience that either. What are you talking about? Don't you get it? I was starting to. I prefer you explain. Don't you remember the camp? Felt like an electric shot. All the events of the week immediately sprang up in my mind. My hands starting to tremble. A cold sweat bursted from my forehead. I turned around in horror, already imagining that I'd see some aliens, ghosts, or a Grim Reaper, but there was nobody in my room except me. As always, I ran to the corridor, checked in the kitchen and the bathroom. Still nobody at last. I returned to the computer, the same message. It was still flashing steadily, as if it was a perfectly ordinary message. Trinity, is that you? Who are you? My hands were trembling so much I couldn't hardly hit the right keys. Oh, so you don't remember it? My hallucinations seem to keep going on. Or I never left the camp in the first place. Or it's just a dream after all. Or, see me, I don't know what to say. I admit it sincerely anyhow. I felt that this entity, that's the only definition I could think of, doesn't need any kind of internet to communicate with me. Well, you can't just keep silent. Everything's perfectly clear. XD. That smiley at the end of the line looked like a devil himself. Losing of this deformed trust to devour me. What is happening to me? I finally made up my mind to ask the question. Nothing at all. You're just living your regular life. But the camp, was it real? Then what do you think? I'm not sure. If it seemed real to you, then yes, it was real. If not, then it wasn't. It's all that simple. Not simple at all. What happened to you next? What happened to me next? I whispered. Nothing to worry about. Seems that it really hurt me without the help of the internet. Terror changed my whole body. I closed my eyes and gathered up into a clot. Why? Why are you doing this to me? I started losing it. Words are coming out of my mouth by themselves, illogical, meaningless sets of words. Why? Why me? What for? What for? Leave me alone. I haven't done anything bad. Several minutes after I found the courage to open one eye and took a look at the monitor. You are the reason for everything. The message window was flickering coldly. And what's next? Oh, you'll see that soon enough. Everything started fading to black in my eyes. Noises filled my ears, and I started to feel dizzy. I felt that my very self was escaping the physical self. The events of the last few days becoming somewhat vanishing, as if it all didn't happen to me. Then the memories of the camp started to vanish, as if somebody was thoroughly rubbing off with the erase of the words written with pencil. Moments after I felt and sensed nothing, I saw I plunged to a constant bliss. If no one had seen me at that moment, one would notice that I was smiling. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck here. I've hit the report spam button, closed the window, switched to the browser, and glanced at the clock. Time to get going, I'm going to be late. Forever alone. Simeon, good end. Okay. Every story has its beginning and its end. Every story has its own outline, synopsis, contents, key points, a prologue and an epilogue. And there's no book which will not reveal the things you didn't pay attention to previously after you read it again. Every story has its beginning and its end. Almost every. And that's it. I think that's the entire game. So I know there's probably more to it. Because yeah, I'm seeing some screenshots here that I didn't find in the main game, so I may go back through it in my off time and just do just some random things, see if I get different outcomes. But hopefully, I get some variations here and there. It's like forever alone. I don't know, I might play it again and see what happens. So yeah.